Hi, I'm Niki Zohdi. I'm a UK-based composer. First of all, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to Ensemble Achrome for asking me to compose them a piece. It's been an absolute joy and delight to collaborate with such wonderful people and wonderful musicians. So long may that continue in the future. I'm really excited to hear my piece being performed by Achrome in Bergamo in March. So I'd just like to introduce my piece, just to give a brief outline and introduction to the piece. So I've composed a piece for the whole ensemble of Achrome, so that's flute plus alto and bass flute, clarinet plus bass clarinet, violin, cello and piano with a few preparations. So first of all, I will come back to the title, Katolophyromai, but I just want to talk about an interest I have in early music, and especially early music which evokes melancholy, so settings of melancholic texts like passions and lamentations. This can be anything really from that time which I'm interested in, so that could be John Dowland's lute airs, it could be Thomas Tallis's or Alonso Lobo's settings of the Lamentations of Jeremiah, or even Claudio Monteverdi's Lamento della Ninfa. So this music, I feel, evokes such expression and contains so many musical characteristics which I find so interesting and engaging to listen to, perform as a singer and use as a composer. And it is the examples such as the false relations, the tension created by suspensions, and the individual outlooks, the harmony that each of these composers have when setting melancholic texts. So it is this, all these characteristics which form the backbone of my piece Katolophyromai, and it is these characteristics which I explore throughout the piece in different ways. So onto the title. Katolophyromai is the first lamentation of Orestes by Euripides, which is thought to be from 4 or 8 BC in ancient Greece. This date is disputed because the notation of this may have been written before the text. So the notation may have been written before 4 or 8 BC. So this is a papyrus of notation and text called Katolophyromai, and I have found a transcription of this text. And throughout my piece, I hocket some fragments of the Katolophyromai notation throughout different instruments, and I also have moments where the pianist whispers some of the text into the piano. So this relates to my interest in early music and melancholy. So I wanted to find one of the earliest sources of melancholy I could, and one of the earliest laments I could find was the Katolophyromai. So I thought that was a nice fitting reason to include some of the notation and text of that lamentation in my piece. So extending that, as I said previously, I wanted to evoke these characteristics throughout. So my piece includes lots of very close microtonal harmony at points, and lots of glissandi, lots of the not suspensions as such, but trying to evoke that tension and release that suspensions create on a slightly larger scale throughout the ensemble. So this forms the backbone of the piece. So the material of the piece, outside of the Katolophyromai quotations, are based on Charpentier's L'Arinement de Saint-Pierre, which is one of my favourite passion settings. It's a very short 3-movement piece where the last movement just contains so many suspensions and striking false relations throughout, and it is this final movement that I use as the basis for the material of the whole of my piece. So throughout my piece, the Charpentier just drifts in and out of obscurity. So there are moments where it is completely buried within quite heavy and dense textures, and there are moments where the textures just release a little bit, and you manage to just hear bits of the Charpentier, but altered through closer microtonal manipulations to the original picture material. So the Charpentier is present throughout, but he's just disrupted by material which obscures it and distorts it in different ways. So that's how the piece works. The structure of the piece is based on this idea of moving in and out of obscurity and in and out of distortion of the Charpentier material. So that's how the piece works, and that's where the interests in composing this piece are derived from. And it's worth noting that my piece, Katolophyromai, is not a lament in itself. So I'm not interested in the piece becoming a lament, but I'm interested in taking the characteristics I really like from early music, especially settings of melancholic texts, and placing them into new dimensions and to new contexts, and for those to form the backbone of the piece. So yeah, I'm really excited to meet as many of you in Bergamo as possible, and I'm really excited to hear Achrome perform my piece next month. So thank you so much again to the ensemble for asking me to compose this piece and giving me this opportunity. It's been wonderful to collaborate with you all, so thank you so much.